All right, we're talking about something that I think everyone needs to have, and that is a dash cam. Now, while they're cool to have and fun to go back and look at the footage, something like our drive down the Las Vegas Strip here, the real value is knowing that if something did happen while you're out either driving, the family car, or better yet, your work truck, you know that you are going to get it on video. And that's why today we're talking about what might be the smallest 4K dash cam that I've seen yet, and that is the Vantrue E1 Pro. Don't let the size fool you though. This thing packs serious hardware. It's got what I think is probably the best chip out there. That's Sony's Starvis 2 IMX678, as well as Vantrue's own PlayPix technology. It has a built-in CPL filter, all sorts of tech. Let's see if this little guy can earn a spot in your vehicle. All right, we got the Vantrue here. Let me flip it around. This is the Element 1 Pro. 4K, 30 frames per second with the Sony chip in it. We got HDR, voice control, Wi-Fi, free app, GPS logger, 24/7 parking monitor on top of it, magnetic assist mount, which I love. If you've been around the channel, you heard me talk about stuff like that. Extreme temp protection. We're here in Vegas. That's going to be key. All right, remote controller optional, LTE connectivity optional. You can scan these codes there if you want more information. Let's get it open. Love the presentation on this. We got the box here. Let's go ahead and give this a pull. Open that up. Let's see what we got inside. All right, there's the app and stuff you're going to need to download. Of course, the instruction booklet we will totally ignore. No, we'll read the instruction booklet at some point after we fail trying to get everything installed. Share and win. All right, and here is the unit itself. I'm going to get this all unboxed and we're going to get to work. Okay, this little piece of plastic is the secret. It says, please peel this off. And then you got one on this side. So we got 2 layers of protection film. And this is going to get peeled off, stuck to the window, then we peel off the other side. And this allows us to get a firm, forget the suction cup kind of thing. This is a step above suction cups, but still removable setup, all right? All right, pro tip here. You want to clean your windshield, not just the outside, but the inside as well, because that's how you're going to get good adhesion here. And of course on the outside, because that's how you're going to get good video from the dash cam. And you'll notice what really stands out here is the size of this unit. It's easily the smallest 4K dash cam I've ever used. You get the camera, the GPS mount, the fast charging USB-C cable, and it supports up to 1 terabyte micro SD cards, which is huge especially for the long trips and stuff that we take here. And here you can see me installing the CPL filter. This is a polarizing lens on here that's going to reduce the glare. And what you need to do is once you get it installed, you need to rotate that lens while watching the screen until you get the level of glare reduction that you want. And just make sure you're plugging it into the GPS bracket there that I showed. That you don't want to plug it directly into the camera if you want all the features to work. Installation is pretty straightforward, as you can see. Just make sure you use the GPS bracket for full functionality. That's where the camera pulls its GPS and charging data. And that fast charging, it uses the PD 3.1 fast charging via USB-C. It supports multiple protocols, including QC 2.0. And that technology is great and all. But something more important is the angle of attack of the camera, if you would. You'll see in my video, I show a good portion of the hood in it. And in a lot of the instructions, they'll say, don't do that. They want you to show something more like this, where the hood is just barely a sliver and you're getting more view out there. But really, I think all that does is get you more skyline, which is beautiful and all. But the important thing is you want to be able to see what's going on around you. And that means being able to see both sides of the hood in case there is an issue with, say, getting sideswiped or T-boned or something like that. I want more field of view of the drive, whereas it's nice and it's cinematographic and is that the right word? I don't know. It looks good in video having it like this. I prefer something more real world like this because I think that's where the action's going to happen if it does. All right, enough preaching about that. Let's talk about some of the in-camera features. First off, you're getting 4K resolution at 30 frames per second with HDR support, which means better contrast, better detail, especially when it comes to capturing those important details such as, I don't know, license plates and stuff like that. The sensor is Sony's Starvis 2 IMX678, which I said before is probably my favorite sensor in a dash cam right now. It makes it a solid performer in both day and night. It really, as you can see here, it really pops out in nighttime. And then you have Vantrue's PlayPix technology, which helps boost that clarity even further. Now, I tested this, and you can see here, we're looking at license plates. We pulled an image there, just randomly driving down the strip, and you can see the quality you get from this, trying to find out those details. Now, what about, downtown here during the day? So that's a Lexus LC, kind of fairly rare kind of car to see. Nice little blue wrap there, and you can see the license plate imagery off of that, and I pulled all this directly off the camera using my phone. And this is a great thing because it was, a good size 4K, clip, and I was able to download it in like under 30 seconds. Now, another thing that they have here is really good sound and noise reduction built in. So you don't get that kind of tin can kind of sounding recording there. There's even a privacy mode and mileage tracking built in. But let's hear what some of that in-camera sound sounds like. This is driving down through Boulder City, which is just south of Vegas, over near where the dam is. And one of my favorite parts of town. And here's just some of the conversation there I had in camera.
All right. The day after Memorial Day weekend. So this is a Tuesday noon, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. See, nice and busy downtown.
And that high quality microphone isn't just good for listening to you talk and ramble in the car, but it's got voice recognition commands as well. You can tell it to take a photo, turn the Wi-Fi on and off, turn the video on and off, all sorts of commands there. Plus, there's also a bonus you can add. This is an add-on. You have to buy it separately. But there's a little remote control you can stick on your dash that allows you to do some of those commands as well. That's kind of convenient there for those of you maybe with that southern accent who sometimes have problems with voice command. Also the GPS, I really dig this. We do a lot of traveling, especially if you've got a work truck. This is important. This is going to help you document the actual use of the vehicle. It's right there built into the unit there. And then also, this is a big win. It doesn't use batteries. There's no rechargeable batteries in it. Instead, they use some really high-tech capacitors. That means it's going to be able to handle cold, like up here in Montana, or the heat, like down there in Vegas, much better than batteries can. Now, another optional add-on is the cell phone communication package, and that's the thing that allows it to talk over the cell phone networks. And that's going to give you access to features like, real-time alerts and, say, video calls, vehicle location, live vehicle location, and remote preview of your vehicle. And now, why is that important? Well, how about this? How about 24/7 security of your vehicle? Again, nice to have when we're talking about, your own personal car and stuff like that. But if we're talking about a tool truck, we're talking about stuff, inside your vehicle, that's super important. All right. And then we also talk about collision, detection and stuff. No, that's fine when you're driving, but what about when you're parked? This is going to be able to sense that. It's also going to be able to tell, what happened before and afterwards. It has a buffer that it records. So it goes, well, all right, something happened. Let's go back and grab 15 seconds prior to that and make sure we saw what led up to that situation. At the end of the day, you have to make the decision for yourself. This is a sponsored video, Vantrue. We've worked with them in the past. They're fantastic products. I really like them. And if you've been around the channel, I'm a staunch advocate for having a dash cam, whether it be in your own personal vehicle or especially in your work vehicle. But let's talk about pros and cons. Pro is you get the true 4K video, all right? You're getting the Starvis 2 sensor. You've got the polarizing lens built in. You got the fast download with the app so you can get and see exactly what it is that just happened, all right? And I really love the compact size. The cons, the night vision really depends on the street lighting, okay? It's, the worse the light, the less clarity and stuff you're going to get. That's just real world situations. And then the GPS, if you want to use everything the way it is, I guess, I don't know if that's a negative. That mount, you have to use that mount with it. But I like being able to just pull it off with the magnetic mount. I can throw it in my glove compartment. Anyway, let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments. Is this something you would use? Is this something you like? Do you have a dash cam currently? And if so, what do you like or not like about it? Put it down in the comments. I want to see what your take is. Anyway, thanks again to Vantrue for sponsoring this video. We'll put links and everything down below so you can check it out and see if it's right for you. So if you like what we do here, go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.